and you can't interaction. So আপনি দোকানে একটা কিছু কিনতে গিয়েছেন, আপনি গিয়ে you can বলবেন যে yes, you will say I want to buy a kg of sugar and oil, will you take with me? So you can't do so. Then you have to interact about it, and you have to talk about it. And for this reason, interaction has been the central issue in case of language teaching. An Australian linguist, William Mary Rivers, in 1987 calls language interaction as the interactive perspectives in language. Interactive perspective. Why? আপনি যদি কথাই বলতে না পারেন তাহলে আমি কিভাবে জানবো যে আপনি সেই ভাষাটা শিখেছেন? So interactional perspectives is very important. And in other words, student active facility in using a language when their attention is focused on conveying and receiving authentic messages. Conveying and receiving. Conveying, that means you are talking to someone else, but you can look at from. What do you say? I can't understand you. How do you please say it in another word? Could you please make your voice a little bit louder? That means you are conveying some words, but that words are not understood by the person you are speaking to. So what you are talking is not the authentic message you are delivering. And after getting, whenever you will be telling something and that will be understood by the listener you are speaking to, he will also be telling something. Okay? And simultaneously you have to understand that message. So that is the authentic messages. Authentic, that means meaningful messages would be reciprocated at the time of interaction. আপনি যেটা বলতেই চাচ্ছেন সেটা যদি যাকে বলছেন উনি যদি বুঝতেই না পারে, আর যাকে বলছেন উনি যদি আবার যেটা বলছে এটাও যদি আপনি বুঝতে পারেন, সেটা ইন্টারাকশন হবে না। এবং সেটাকে বলা হচ্ছে ট্রান্সফার হলো অথেন্টিক মেসেজ। ইউ হ্যাভ টু কনভে অথেন্টিক মেসেজ and also you have to receive the message conveyed by the speakers or the listener you are speaking to. That is interaction. And what is authentic messages then? Authentic messages are those messages that contain information of interest to both the speaker and the listener. Okay. You are speaking someone things, but this is not the matter of someone you are speaking to. যার সাথে আপনি কথা বলছেন তার সাথে তার কোনো ইন্টারেস্টেড এর মধ্যে নাই। But the authentic message is the messages that contains authentic matter of interest both the speakers and the listener. And conveying and receiving authentic messages are called interaction. Oh, I like this definition very much. Conveying and receiving authentic messages are called interaction. So we are discussing this with the view that the interaction view of a language. So that are the theories of language. That is the interactional view of a language. So language teaching and learning through interactivity is linked to the teaching of reading, writing, speaking and listening skill. So when we got the idea of this three language theory, that is the structural view, functional view and interactional view, at that time, that means language learning and teaching not only the way of learning reading, writing. ভাষা শেখার অর্থ তখন এটা বোঝায় না যে you will also be able to read and write, এটা শেখায় না। আসলে আমাদেরকে পড়তেও জানতে হবে, আবার শুনতেও জানতে হবে। And whenever we will be able to the listening power, how can improve your listening power? You can get so many videos, YouTube videos and sabar. That means the listening. And for this reason, IELTS will convey these 4 modules. And what are the 4 modules? That is speaking, reading and writing. Okay, and that is for the development of language theory. That means language learning and teaching, it not only be meaning that reading and writing, it will be meaning the all 4 modules of a language, that is speaking, reading, writing and listening. And that was also supported by Carroll, Devine and Ski. Observe that the notion of interactivity can be achieved by both of the top-down or the bottom-up processing of the reading comprehension. Reading comprehension. Actually here, sometimes according to this reading, that means actually out of this 4 modules, which will be the main things you are in a position to focus more. Reading, writing এর উপরে কোনগুলোতে উপরে আপনি সবচেয়ে বেশি গুরুত্ব দিবেন? Okay. Okay, someone will say speaking, someone will say reading, okay, someone will say something else. Who said speaking? What? Okay. Okay, good. But here, Karel Devinarski, they said that reading comprehension is very important in case of improving all four skills. Here, in which way? Whenever you will be reading, okay, you are reading, getting sound or not, but at the time of reading, you are hearing your speaking. Okay, and for this reason, there are fast reader or slow reader. Fast reader can read 10 pages within half an hour, and slow reader can read 10 pages within 1.5 hour. Okay. So this is the reading criteria. So these scholars, they said that you can study module by top-down process or bottom-up process, and the reading comprehension is very important for improving these skills. And this is actually, this component was very by Australian linguist Wilga Mary Rivers, that we had been talking about the very initial stage, that is Wilga Mary Rivers. Okay, so Wilga Mary Rivers, he said, Australian linguist and professor of Romance languages, while she taught at both secondary education and college levels throughout his life. She spent the majority of her career in the faculty of Harvard University, and there he served as the professor of Roman languages and the coordinator of language instruction in Romance language, fulfilling these roles until her eventual retirement in 1989. So Wilga Mary Rivers had contributed much for the development of interactive language skill, and that is the introductional view of the language. And Rivers was best known for her work in the field of foreign language acquisition. So there is another course, that is second language acquisition. Okay, but here he developed the idea, that is the foreign language acquisition. Foreign language pedagogy. Pedagogy means methodology. Methodology in which way you will be learning the second language or foreign language. Promoting and popularizing a number of methods used in modern language teaching. So he developed much. And in opposition to the popular audiolingualism in her contemporary era, at the time, Wilga Mary Rivers didn't propose these perspectives. Actually, that was the time of audiolingualism, or the language related to the direct method. That was the theories or approaches prevalent at the time of Wilga Mary Rivers. But he or she, Wilga Mary Rivers, contributed much in case of developing the introductional view of a language. So she promoted the use of technology and integration of the psychology in language and teaching, and centers that were not widespread at that time. So the text-based language teaching, whole language teaching, neuro-language programming, these all are the methods and approaches. Cooperative language teaching, content-based instruction are derived from the type of language learning with interactivity. So with the idea delivered by Wilga Mary Rivers, all these methods that were derived. What are the methods? Text-based language teaching, whole language teaching, neuro-linguistics programming, cooperative language, cooperative content-based language instruction. So that what are the core issue of all these methods? The core issue is introduction. So interactive view of a language is very important, and that was initiated by these scholars like Wilga Mary Rivers. Okay, so we have discussed about this theory of language, and that theory of language is the structural view, functional view, and introductional view. But among these all views are important, but among these all views, introductional views of language is very important, because at the second half of 20th century, communicative language gained much popularity and attention by the language learner and teachers, and for this reason this view inspired language learners, language researchers, and language teachers as well. Okay, so with this view we can conclude, or you can conclude today's class. Hopefully we will be continuing the other parts in the next class. Okay.